Okay, Assalamu alaikum and hello everyone. Today we have a Prof. Bully. He's academic with over 22 years of experience in the field of education, research and development across diverse organization in India and Malaysian and an author of 40 Scoop Index, journally articles, one books and two books a chapter. Prof. Dr. Blay has PhD microbiology and National Faculty for Mary Cyanobacteria, NMFC, debate of biochil- uh, uh, biochemi- sorry, uh, biochecology, Government of India. And can you start, Mr. Prof? Hello, can you
Okay.
hear me? Can you
Yeah.
start?
Tell.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Good morning, all.
Right.
Uh, Good morning, Mr. Faisal, for the introduction.
Yeah.
And
Thank you.
this is a nice opportunity for me to speak about the IoT in agriculture 5.0. And basically, I'm a microbiologist, but I got a very good opportunity to develop and work for the system of agriculture research related area, particularly in terms of eco village and hydroponics, mainly because of Masa University management, Tato GMD, Tato Dr. Sharil. He is the one given the opportunity and the funding to develop the system. And this one is a very modern system of agriculture, that is aquaponics and hydroponic system. And this one is now most of the urban area they developed the modern system. So today I got the opportunity from the Faculty of Engineering, particularly Dr. Iman, Dean, Faculty of Engineering, and Madam Meghala, who given the opportunity to talk about the role of IoT in agriculture, modern agriculture system, agriculture 5.0, industry 5.0. That is a concept now everyone is using. So now I'm going to share with my own experience in the Masa University, because recently we developed the hydroponic and aquaponic research facilities in Masa University with the funding from Masa management. Particularly, I mentioned the Tato GMD, and we started working on it. And now we already completed almost 9 research projects, students' research project. We got a lot of experience on that, and now there are the three PhD students already joined in the research lab to develop the to discover the new system, particularly in terms of media and the cultivation system for all type of vegetables. We are moving towards the modern and fully automated system with the help of engineering faculty. So this is our basic introduction about our agriculture related area in Masa University. In this way, I am going to share my screen with all the presentations, so that you can understand what is a modern agriculture system, and 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 then what is the role of IoT, everything inside. Uh, you can see. Can you see my slides?
No.
No. Okay,
Yeah.
wait. Wait, I will share again. Share screen.
Yeah. Now we can see.
Yes, good.
Yeah.
So in this regard, I'm going to discuss. First of all, everyone should know what is agriculture 5.0, and then only we can understand what is the role of IoT. and what is a modern agriculture, what is a need of a modern agriculture system, and what is the role and importance of the modern agriculture system in this current world, everything. And then we'll move on to the role of IoT and what are the research opportunities and the job opportunities available in that area. All we are going to discuss about in this one. So, when you consider about a modern agriculture system, there are two systems. One is a soil-based system. Another one is a soilless culture system. So now we are going to focus mainly on the soilless culture system. Why? Because the major IoT system involved in that soilless culture, otherwise called hydroponics. So some people may wonder, is it possible to do the agriculture without soil? But now it is very successful, and most of the countries are already developed the soilless agriculture system. Now they are practicing also. So before going to enter into the our main topic, first of all, I'm going to introduce what is the need of soilless agriculture system, or otherwise called hydroponics. Then uh, what are the advantages of soilless culture when compared with the other system, and then how the modern agriculture system is practicing and where they need the people's role in engineering, particularly in terms of IoT system and robotic system all. Then you can understand the role of IoT in agriculture system. So um, what is a need we need to go for soilless culture, or otherwise called hydroponic system. So now everyone very well and aware of it. The usage of pesticide, fertilizers, and soil sterilization method and monocultural system. So these are like the system is inevitable in soil-based agriculture, particularly in the large scale cultivation system. They use lot of pesticide, fertilizers, and other chemicals like herbicides and everything. So everyone knows this is a toxic. So whenever we are eating something, it contains some small portion of these toxic chemicals. So due to this one, a lot of people are having health problems. Everything, in from starting from diabetic to the cancer, most of the diseases are linked with the usage of chemicals in the agriculture system. So now peoples are aware, and most of them were moving towards the organic culture system, organic food. But is it possible to feed the entire world through organic agriculture? Impossible, because organic agriculture system is very expensive. Some of the people, it's not affordable also. Another one which requires huge land when compared with the other fertilizer based system and organic based system. Organic based system, normally the yield is very less, that need more land. So now actually the land is actually the cultivation land is shrinking because of development of urbans and other industrials. So we have very limited land, so it's not affordable for organic system. So the peoples were looking for another alternative system. This is the first question. The second one, climate changes and other climate related issues, including droughts, flood, and heavy raining and sometimes no water. All these kind of issues again affect the normal agriculture system. This is a second question. Third one, because of the long distance transport from the agriculture to the agriculture land to the consumers, uh, the food spoilage is inevitable. So a lot of foods are wasted and directly go to the pins. Everyone knows if you go and see the urban area, how much foods, vegetables are wasted in the pins. This is another system. So, and these are the main problems or main issues in the normal land-based agriculture system. So, how to repair this one? How to repair this one? Everyone is looking for a solution, and most of the problems I addressed here will be solved by the hydroponic system. Another very important things everyone should know is a chemical uh, adulteration. Chemical adulteration is a very important issue. Some people may think if the vegetables are the green veg, or the lettuces or anything, if it is looks like very fresh and green, the people's mindset is it's clean, but it's not clean. So now I'm going to share you all the one video. Actually, this is a viral video in WhatsApp a few months before. While seeing the things, you can understand what is the importance of clean produce, or other is called the the need of pure veg without chemicals. In this video, the peoples were demonstrating how they are making the vegetables look fresh by using chemicals. You see the lettuces they collected from the market. See how it's look like it's completely wilted and not very fresh. No one can buy this, the lettuces. Okay, so if you put this one in normal water, either tap water or RO water, it won't be fresh. It won't be fresh. They're going to demonstrate. Actually, this video they're demonstrating. So the white packet they're using the normal water, or other is called the normal tap water. The ender lettuces are soaked with the water. They're keeping on one side, and another set of lettuces they put with the water already mixed with the toxic chemical. Actually, I don't want to mention the chemical. It's a toxic chemical. Actually, they kept in another side. Okay, they kept in another side. You see the difference of changes. You see how wilted the plant, and it's not very fresh. It's looked like a very bad condition. So they kept in a separate. The person is demonstrating. Is soaked with the chemical. It's actually a toxic chemical. You see how it's changing, how it is changing. All you see, it's completely looks very fresh. You see. See another one soaked with water, still same, no difference. But this one looks very fresh, looks like very fresh, and just a few minutes before only harvested from the land. Look like this, looks like just a few minutes before only harvested. But the other one still, the water cannot make it like this. But this chemical they used is very toxic, and moreover, it causes a lot of health problem. So we don't know the condition of the vegetables buying from the market. Sometimes it look very fresh, but adulterated with chemical. This is another issue. Even though the problem with the land, this kind of things, you see, make our life miserable. So we need a system where we need to completely avoid the chemical and this kind of toxic things. You see, again they choked with the chemical. It again going to be look like a fresh one. See how much fresh, looks very fresh. The other thing, because of the chemical. Okay, this is a one mainly forcing us to find a solution for clean this. Why the some suppliers using the chemical? Because the vegetables and the lettuces are transported from agriculture land to the urban area very long, sometimes 1 day 2 days, and more than 12 hours like this. So no other options, they cannot keep all the vegetable fresh. That's the reason why. So what are the problems now we addressed? The one is a pesticide and the chemicals used in the soil. It contaminate all the vegetables. So the food we are consuming contains some proportion of chemicals, toxic chemicals. Another one, adulteration. To make the vegetables and the lettuces fresh, some peoples are using the chemicals to make it fresh. So how to avoid this one? First one, we need to sometimes the people may think, without using the pesticide or the chemicals in the land. Is it possible to produce vegetables? It's nearly impossible, because in open cultivation system we cannot avoid insects. One another one, even though we can make some greenhouses and other protected system to make the vegetables clean, but the problem is already the soil is contaminated with a lot of toxic chemicals, carcinogenic chemicals like pesticides and herbicides. So again, it enter into the plant system, and definitely some proportion of this one. It's impossible to clean the entire soil without the pesticides. So the only solution is hydroponics. Hydroponics is a system which solve or which answer almost all the questions we raised now. One, first of all, in hydroponic system, no need to use soils. We use only the water suspended with the nutrients, the nutrient elements only. We don't use any chemicals. Then next question, the water we can purify by means of RO system, reverse osmosis system. So we can make the water very less chemical or otherwise zero chemicals. So it is possible. Another one system, no need of much land. For normal traditional culture system we need a huge land to cultivate the plants, but for the hydroponic system through vertical farming or vertical cultivation system, we can make it like a vertical layers, so reduce land is possible. For example, if a particular system which requires 50 acres of land to cultivate the lettuces, we can make it in 1 acre, like that the modern. So we see 1 is to 50, that much technology now available. So it is possible to keep our production system or the fresh produce system within the urban area, within the sometimes in some condominium they are using just a car park area and put some container, the shipping containers, and make it as a agriculture system, that is the closed culture system, and they can produce a lot of vegetables is possible. Okay, so hydroponics is the solution to answer most of the questions. We can avoid chemicals, we can reduce the space requirements. Another very important things, we can reduce the usage of waters, which requires 1/10 of the water when compared to the other system. So sometimes the hydroponics, what is hydroponics then? The definition is here. Hydroponics is nothing more than growing plants in water enriched with the nutrients instead of soil. So we are using only the nutrient elements dissolved in the water only, no usage of soil. So we can avoid all the problems. And then the hydroponic system is not a recently developed system. Actually, this one is a way back to the Babylon hanging garden. It's mainly using the hydroponic system only. So it is it's not a very recently developed system. It's very historical, but now the systems are well developed with the industrial scale by the usage of engineering technology and other modern technology to make the process easier. Okay, this is our Masa hydroponic team, headed by Professor Dr. Sri Kumar, is a director of RIE in Masa University. He is the one leading our team, and the main members we are working is myself and Dr. Paul Raj and my colleague Dr. Ayyappan and Dr. Chandraman. We are the peoples working together to develop a lot of modern system and modern techniques for the hydroponics. Particularly, we are targeting to move towards the novel nutrient chemical system, or otherwise called novel media system for the hydroponic of each plants, and particularly with the target to produce organic media is fully organic. Nowadays, inorganic media is readily available, but organic media is very limited. Now we are moving. Now the Masa hydroponic lab working towards to produce organic media for the cultivation of all the vegetables and the lettuces. So this is my all our researchers and students groups working in the Masa hydroponic lab for different aspects. Okay, everyone is working with a different plant and different aspects in terms of producing the things. The background is a Masa hydroponic lab with the modern system to develop everything to make it the things, you see the plants are growing in a vertical garden system with the different, the LED, the unique LED lighting system on. So our main aim is to make Masa Aquatonic. What is Masa Aquatonic? It's a nutrient solution. It's an enriched nutrient solution, unique for each plants. Nowadays people are using the common media for everything, but our concept is each and every plants need some unique requirements to make a healthy plants. If the plants are healthy, definitely the nutritional quality will be good. So our main aim is to make a unique culture media for each and every plants. We term it as Masa Aquatonic. So we are using the design expert, the computer softwares. Okay, so this is a modern system. That's what I put the topic, how to make the engineering and IT comes together with the agriculture to make the Agri 5.0. So we are using the computer software to design the media. So each plant requires major nutrients like nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, magnesium, iron, and other lot of micronutrients, which is very unique to each plants. So we are developing a media system which will support the uh, healthy fresh produce of the plants. So this is our main area of work which is ongoing. So I introduced some of the work, ongoing work in the Masa Hydroponic Lab, so that everyone can understand what is modern agriculture, how it works. So this is my work is going. See the background, the plant which is growing is a tomato. We have different varieties of tomato we are cultivating in the Masa hydroponics lab. See the racks, the vertical system. Here itself, one, two, three, four racks are there, four different rows. So this is a chili plant growing in a hydroponic system. So we have different varieties of chilies growing in different layers, and this is a lettuces how it is growing very healthy under the system. So it's a very closed environment, and the media which is put inside the things is designed by the computer software design expert, response surface methodology, CCD. Um, so this is another lettuce varieties growing inside our Masa hydroponic lab. The down one is a seedling preparation rack, and the top one is a major one. So why should hydroponic be better than the traditional agriculture? That is very important. So plants on industrial scale is possible only in a hydroponic system. In soil-based system, we cannot do the vertical gardening and a different layer. In my previous lab setup itself, you can see the 4 to 5 layers of vertical system having the different plants and growing inside the lab. So this is the research lab. We are mainly designed our lab to do a lot of research on that particular things. In the urban area, a small area or small industrial setup, we can make a multiple layers, maybe up to 50, 100 also possible, with a controlled environment and the unique LED growing light system. So nowadays, the LED system also well developed systems available, that consumes very less power, but it produces a high energy for the plants. So actually speaking, the sunlight contains a full spectrum of light, but for the plant growth, which requires only the limited spectrum within the particular wavelength range only, so that we can make through the LED lighting system and make efficient system. And then another very important point is efficient ecology. That means we can make a controlled environment just like a lab. In industrial system, it's completely closed environment with the greenhouse system with a different layer, and the temperature, moisture, and all other physical chemical parameters inside can be completely controlled by the IoT system. That is, I will explain in the later. And then the nutrient recirculation. So if you consider about the soil based system, actually the soil, we are adding lot of fertilizers, but it's going inside the soil. Plant use the less than 10 percentage of the nutrient only. remaining all wasted in the soil only. But in the hydroponic system, the nutrients are mixed with the water and directly supplied to the root system. So zero wastage of water, zero wastage of nutrient. Everything it will be absorbed, and moreover, we can recirculate the water within the hydroponic system by means of using the automation. And we have developed now it's the automation also in the Masal hydroponic lab. And then very important things, higher yield when compared with the normal traditional one and hydroponic one is a higher yield. The leaves are very big, fruits are very big, and moreover we are cultivating the plants in a closed and climatic controlled area, so the plants will be very healthy and fresh, and very good flavor, everything we can get it. You can, if you have doubt, you can come and visit my Masa hydroponic lab. We will show you how big the lettuce leaves is, and the vegetables, other leaves and fruits, everything, and the number of fruits also very high when compared with the other soil based system. And uh, and very important things, weather condition. So in the normal open soil based cultivation system, the influence of weather is very very important. Sometimes very bright sunlight, sometimes very heavy raining, sometimes very cold, sometimes very hot. So these are like the physical chemical parameters influencing the plant health and plant nutritional content also. But in hydroponic, we are doing everything in a controlled closed environment, so the plants are very healthy. And other important thing is the infection through bacteria, fungus, virus, and other soil nematodes are very high in soil based system, that is called the soil derived disease or soil diseases. But in hydroponic system, we are using the semi sterile condition, or otherwise called a semi aseptic condition or partial aseptic condition, so we can avoid a lot of uh, the soil based contamination. Particularly, most of the peoples are eating the lettuces very fresh. Example, burger, they're using simply the lettuces inside and directly eating. So in a soil based system, lot of bacterial contamination is possible, other fungus and viral contamination also possible, because of the open system. But in controlled hydroponic system, it's the chances are very very less, sometimes we can say zero. If you are maintaining the ender system aseptically, if we follow the aseptic conditions, everything, definitely we can completely avoid the bacterial and fungal contaminations which cause the severe infection for the human being. Second, the insects. So in open cultivation system, it's impossible to avoid the insect attack to the plants. So no other options. The farmers are spraying the insecticides to control the insects. Otherwise, the entire system will be spoiled. So pesticides are very toxic. We don't know when they are spraying the pesticides. Sometimes, some fresh vegetables and fresh few days before they simply spraying the pesticides, and harvesting mean the vegetables contains a lot of pesticides on the surface and sometimes inside the plants also is another problem. But in the closed system like hydroponics, no possibilities of getting pesticides because the systems are completely closed with this one. So another one is a run of the nutrient wastage I already mentioned. So whenever we are using the soil based system, lot of fertilizers are wasted in the soil. So that one we can degrees. Another one is economically safer. So the initial investment only slightly higher than the open agriculture system. After that, we can use the system for several years with a little bit of repairing only. So economically easier. Another one thing, as I told you, we can minimum in a small scale itself, we can get a 15 times higher yield than the normal open agriculture system. So the land usage is very very less. If you say simply 15 layers of a vertical system, you can get the yield of a 15 acre in 1 acre of land. So that is advantage. But in a advanced industrial scale system, some people are saying it can make up the yield for 50 acres of things in 1 acre. So that is a maximum efficiency of the hydroponic system. So we will get more yield. And this is just a model for the vertical system. And the other resources used for this, as I told you, very less space used. That is 1:15 or 1:50. And and the commercial, there is simply even a small scale itself, we can get the five times yield when compared with the normal soil based system. And very important, reduction of fossil fuel consumption. What is fossil fuel consumption? Mostly, if you consider about any urban system, the agriculture lands are outside or very far away from the urban area. So sometimes the peoples are harvesting the vegetables, and the transport distance is very high, so they are using the transport system which consumes a lot of diesel and the petrol. That is wastage of soil fossil fuels. So everyone knows the importance of the fossil fuels. Now the reduction is a very important issue. So if the agriculture production system is inside or nearby the urban area, then the transport will be very less or sometimes zero. Sometimes zero. For example, in a condominium, the peoples are constructing the vertical garden by using the shipping containers in the car park. So the peoples directly come down and get the fresh produce in the container, and then they can cook within few minutes. So how fresh it is, and how we can avoid the transport distance and the timing. So this is another important system. So in that way we can reduce the emission and the cost. Emission carbon. So environmentally how much safer we are avoiding the usage of fuel, and then it reduces the emission of other toxic gases, everything. So this is an advantage of hydroponic system. So very importantly, save water. So in a normal nutrient film technology, that is not new. NFT is a major system which is used in the hydroponic, which consumes 70 percentage less water. In some other system, which consumes 90 percentage less water. That means we use only the 10 percentage of water. So the water resources also we can save it by means of using the hydroponic. So we don't need no need higher quantity of water. Also very little quantity of pure water, that also the reverse osmosis purified water we are using in the hydroponic system. So our hydroponic fresh produces are very safe, and moreover, and no chemicals, no toxic anything. That is the main advantage in the hydroponic system. So this is a looks like the hydroponic plant how looks like healthy. You see the root, no soil, no contamination. Sometimes you can directly eat, you can directly eat the fresh produce from the hydroponic system. So this is an NFT system, as I told, how the plants are put in NFT NFT tray, and the plants are growing. So another one important things, the hypermarket or other supermarkets, they can make their own hydroponic systems to supply the fresh vegetables to the consumers. Okay, so nowadays the super hypermarkets are introducing the hydroponic system inside their store, so that the customers directly go and find their healthy fresh produce, and they can pick up and go and cook. So no wastage, and no transport, and no storage, nothing. They can directly consume. This is another big advantage in a hydroponic system. So this is a design what we are planning to go for the modern hydroponic system in Masa University, Masa Eco Village. Then we named as a Masa Eco Village, the biggest of lot of environmental things are used in this one. But I'm not going to touch about the Masa Eco Village now. How the hydroponics and the IOT or engineering things are coming inside only. We are focusing now. So this is a shipping container inside. How the plants are growing in a vertical system, the NFT layers. Okay, so this is one of the. I'm going to show you the modern hydroponic labs, how it looks like, and where the engineering components are playing very important role. and where the IoT systems are coming inside, and how the integrated system make our life very easier and healthier and cheaper. And particularly now the human resources are very important. So it's actually speaking in urban area, the manpower cost is very high. By using the different technology and using the modern techniques, we can make the fresh produce in cheaper. So here I am going to show you, because instead of explaining everything verbally, I find some good videos and put it inside to make comfortable for all of you, how the hydroponics modern systems are working in a urban area, how the robotic IoT systems are coming inside, so that you can easily understand.
All right,
So you
come
see
on
that.
in. So right now we got a crew harvesting butter lettuce
So this is
in
a
the retail trio pack, some of which are going to Freezing Brothers.
this is our
So Swisley
the
Farms
modern
is
system,
located
how
in
the
West Long County,
hydroponic
just west of
cultivations are
Temple.
doing
But
in the urban
you know,
area
since we
by
started,
using the
Freezing
shipping
Brothers is
containers
always
and other
working with
container
us to
systems.
promote our products. So we're very proud to be an Alberta grower and producing for an Alberta retailer. So from seed, we start
See, that
in
is a
our
LED, the
germination
modern
machine.
LED lights used in the
You will never get
hydroponic systems.
such good germination in field grown lettuce. So we have as close to 100% germination as you can get. A single head of lettuce from seed to finish uses less than a liter of water in this system, whereas a typical field grown lettuce uses around 16 liters per head, and that's all through irrigation. Overhead, lots of water is wasted that way. The only thing that touches the plant is through the roots, and that's your water nutrient mix. The roots are perfect, super clean. Hey, you just pull it out. We harvest it with the roots on. So then the roots go right into the little pocket, and then the plants are living. They just last way longer in your fridge.
So this is a modern hydroponic cultivation system in a small shipping container. How the peoples are using the vertical system and cultivating the lettuces, and how packing very freshly without any chemical preservatives or anything, and transporting to the consumers, and how the other
The
system, the
second type of
robotic
vertical farm is
aquaponic systems
aquaponics.
works.
Aquaponic systems take a hydroponic system one step further, combining plants and fish in the same ecosystem. Aquaculture refers to using fish farming, and hydroponics is planting without soil. Fish are grown in indoor ponds, producing nutrient-rich waste that can be used as a food source for the plants in the vertical farm. Plants in turn filter and purify the wastewater, which is recycled to the fish pond, creating a closed-loop system. However, aquaponic systems do not have many real-life commercial examples. Most commercial vertical farm systems focus on producing only a few fast-growing vegetable crops and don't include an aquaponic component. This simplifies the economics and production issues and maximizes efficiency. A lot of people are interested in aquaponics due to its self-sustaining nature, and there is one commercial example in Europe, based in Germany, called Urban Farmers, that combine basil production with farming perch.
So this is another next level of hydroponics, that is integrated cultivation of fishes and plants. So this is also completely aseptic. So the this one is an integrated system with a less cost, or otherwise called very cost effective. The peoples are mainly growing fish in the water, so the water will be recycled back to the aquaculture through the hydroponic system. So what will happen? The plants will use all the nutrients released by the fishes in terms of waste material will be utilized by the plants. So we can produce the plants very cheap when compared with the hydroponic system. And moreover, this one is 100% organic. Why we are telling organic? The previous one we are using the nutrient elements in terms of fertilizer grade chemicals, but this one use purely the organic waste released from the fish. So we are using that system to produce a vegetable. So this is next level of hydroponic system. So this is also possible in the urban area, in a small area, where we can get two benefit. One is fresh fishes, and then another one the fresh vegetables. So this is a main advantage in the aquaponic system. So this is the one how the robotics are involved. So very important is human resources or the manpower in urban system. So how to make easier by means of using robotic. So the engineers can design a robotic according to our requirements. So we can use it in the system. So you see how the robotics are used in the modern agriculture system.
If labor keeps getting scarcer and scarcer, someone's going to have to farm it. Like we still have to get the produce people need to eat. Things like that robotic arm, it has a stereo camera, which actually allows it to scan the head of lettuce multiple times throughout its life, and it can do things like, is this growing correctly? Is there any diseases I need to know about? At Ironauts, we redesigned the entire farm process around robotics.
It's one private company that developed the robotic system. Just for example.
Not only can we grow dozens of varietals year-round while using 90% less water, but the hydroponic grow modules are also designed to be robot-friendly. We have a fully autonomous 1,000-pound mobile robot whose job it is to navigate our farm and fetch one of these grow modules when the plant needs an operation, like harvesting. Using hydroponics allows us to grow year-round. It allows us to grow where there's not arable land. Even here in California, where we're spoiled in fresh produce, there's a lot of produce they cannot get year-round, especially when it comes to things like herbs, like basil, where they'll have to import it or not even be able to get it. So yeah, we definitely see this as absolutely scalable to cities, not just in the United States, but all over. Yes, we'll automate a lot of the day-to-day, like, repetitive task, but you always need that human insight into that human overview, the oversight of everything. So we've actually hired a plant science team. So we have Nicole, our head of growing. She's been leading up this effort in terms of basically what do the plants need to thrive. These are the pots the plants grow in. And this was our very first rev. And now this is our newest model. And a lot of that's because of her design, her inputs around the plant science to make sure that is there room for the roots to grow and for the plant to thrive. We're going to continue to scale out our growing team. We're going to continue to scale out the engineering team, and they're going to continue to work together. Vertical farms and stuff like that get a lot of excitement. One of the things we're going to worry about, though, is what is that electricity cost for powering lights? And now that we actually have extremely efficient LEDs, we know that it's not sustainable. And so actually going forward after this farm, we'll be going towards natural light, like an actual greenhouse. The sun is free, it's significantly less energy.
So this is a way we can use robotic for planting the things and transferring the plants and everything. At the same time, the scientists were developed the robotic monitoring system. So in the urban area and particularly in the industrial setup, the robotics are used to monitor the plant. That is in terms of physicochemical parameters and how healthy the plant, whether the plant's got any health issues or any other problem. Everything can be monitored by a small robotic. So here one of the example, the how the robotic systems are used for monitoring the garden or monitoring our hydroponic system throughout the entire culture. You see that. So this is a way the robotics can be designed and customized according to the need of our hydroponic and aquaponic lab, or hydroponic aquaponic production system, so that we can make our process efficient and faster, and we can reduce the cost in terms of manpower, everything. So this is another next level of a robotic system, which is designed for harvesting the vegetables. How the robotics, sometimes even if you use a human, make errors. Instead of plucking the fully ripened vegetables, they will pluck the wrong one. But the robotics are very sensitive, and they're designed in such a way it choose a correct maturity level in the vegetables and the plucking. So see how here the robotics are used for harvesting. So this is a way the automation systems are coming in, where the IoT playing a role in uh, maintaining the hydroponic industries. Actually speaking, is a industry. It's not like a garden, or it's not like a cultivation land. It's a look like a industrial setup, because they are using the industrial setup with layers of gardening. So you see, so the robotic systems can be designed or otherwise customized according to the need in that particular system. So this is how the hydroponic farms using all the system we can see here. See the vertical layers, how many layers are using in a vertical garden.